More and more people travelled on the Fat Controller's railway. Everyone had to work very hard indeed. The trucks complained bitterly, but then trucks always do, and no one takes much notice. Dirty trucks, dirty sidings, bleh, groaned James. That's enough complaining, said the Fat Controller. You'll be pleased to know that a new goods engine will arrive from Scotland tomorrow. The Fat Controller stared. Did you say 2 engines, Inspector? Yes, sir. Then send the other one back at once. I can't, sir. The 2 engines are exactly alike and have no numbers. They say they lost them on the way. The Fat Controller seized his hat. We'll soon settle that nonsense. The 2 engines greeted him cheerfully. I hear you've lost your numbers. They may have slyly slipped off, sir. You know how it is. The engines spoke in chorus. And what are your names? Donald and Douglas, sir. Good, he said. Then your controller can tell me which of you is which. He doesn't know our names, sir. How could he? We only gave ourselves names when we lost our numbers. One of you, said the Fat Controller, is playing truant. I shall find him out and send him home. Inspector, he ordered, give these engines numbers and set them to work. Soon workmen came to give the twins their numbers. Donald 9 and Douglas 10. Now 9 and 10, smiled the inspector. Here is Duck. He'll show you round before you start work. The twins enjoyed themselves and were soon friends with Duck. We like it fine here, said Donald. That's good, smiled Duck. But take my advice. Watch out for Gordon, Henry and James. They're sure to try some nonsense. Dinna fesh yourself. We'll soon settle them. Donald and Douglas had deep-toned whistles. They sound like buses, said Gordon. Or ships, sniggered Henry. Tugboat Annie, laughed Gordon. Ha ha ha! Donald and Douglas cruised quietly up. You wouldn't be making fun of us now, would ye? Asked Donald. Gordon and Henry jumped. No, certainly not. That's fine, said Douglas. No, just mind the both of ye, and keep it that way. That was the way Gordon and Henry kept it. Every day, punctually at 3:30, Gordon steams in with the express. There's also a special coach for passengers travelling to places on Thomas's branch line. Thomas is very proud of his special coach. One afternoon, Douglas helped Duck in the yard, while Donald waited to take a goods train to the other end of the line. As Duck was busy arranging Donald's trucks, Douglas offered to take away Gordon's coaches. Douglas was enjoying himself when an awful thought struck him. I hope the Fat Controller doesn't find out I shouldn't be here. I couldn't abide going back. He worried so much over this that he forgot about Thomas's special coach. He pushed it with the others into the carriage siding, then steamed off to join Donald at the water column. Soon Thomas came fussing. Where's my coach? Coach? What coach? My special coach that Gordon brings for me. It's gone. I must find it. And he hurried away. Lost sakes, cried Douglas. I must have stowed away the special coach with the others. A mob of angry passengers erupted from the siding. Now listen, we'll change tenders and try and avoid trouble, said Douglas's driver. So Donald with Douglas's tender set off from the yard with the goods train, while Douglas and his crew remained with innocent expressions. Ah, number 9, called the Fat Controller. And why haven't you taken the goods? My tender is awry, sir. The driver showed him the tender, still uncoupled. I see. He turned to the mob of passengers. Please accept my apologies for what happened. I shall investigate the matter immediately. Good afternoon, everyone. The Fat Controller watched the 3 passengers till they had climbed up the station ramp. He swung round suddenly. Douglas, he snapped, why are you masquerading with Donald's tender?
The Fat Controller sent Donald and Douglas to the shed. He was to determine which engine was to be sent away, but neither of them wanted to go. What are we going to do? Wondered Douglas. We just have to work hard, said Donald. Then he'll have to keep us both. Everything went well for the twins, until a spiteful Brakevan caused them trouble.
There was a Brakevan in the yard that had taken a dislike to Douglas. Things always went wrong when he had to take it out. His trains were late and he was blamed. Douglas began to worry. Donald, his twin, was angry. "You're a muckle nuisance," said Donald. "It's to leave you behind I'd be wanting." "You can't," said the van. "I'm essential." "Oh, Kaya," Donald burst out. "You're nothing but a screeching and a noise when all's said and done. Spite Dougie, would you? Take that!" "Oh, oh, oh!" cried the van. "There's more coming, should you misbehave." The van behaved better after that. Until one day, Donald had an accident. The rails were slippery. He couldn't stop in time. The Fat Controller was most annoyed. "I am disappointed, Donald. I did not expect such, clumsiness from you. I had decided to send Douglas back and keep you." "I'm sorry, sir," said Donald. "I should think so too. You have upset my arrangements. Now James will have to help with the goods work, while you have your tender mended. James won't like that." The Fat Controller was right. James grumbled dreadfully. "Anyone would think," said Douglas, "that Donald had his accident on purpose. I heard tell about an engine and some tar wagons." "Shut up," said James. "It's not funny." He didn't like to be reminded of his own accident. "Well, well, well," said Douglas. "Surely, James, it wasn't a you. You didn't say." James didn't say. He slouched sulkily away. "He's cross," sniggered the spiteful Brakevan. "We'll try to make him crosser still." "Hold back," giggled the trucks to each other. James did his best, but he was exhausted when they reached Edward Station. Luckily, Douglas was there. "Help me up the hill, please," panted James. "These trucks are playing tricks." "We'll show them," said Douglas. Slowly but surely, the snorting engines forced the trucks up the hill. But James was losing steam. "I can't do it! I can't do it! Lay it to me!" shouted Douglas. The guard was anxious. "Go steady! The van's breaking!" The van was in pieces. No one had been hurt, and soon Edward came to clear the mess. The Fat Controller was on board. "I might have known it would be Douglas," he said. "Douglas was grand, sir," said Edward. "James had no steam left, but Douglas worked hard enough for 3. I heard him from my yard." "2 would have been enough," said the Fat Controller. "I want to be fair, Douglas, but I don't know. I really don't know." The Fat Controller was making up his mind about something, but that's another story. Snow came early to the island of Sodor. It was heavier than usual. Most engines hate snow. Donald and Douglas were used to it. Coupled back to back, with a van between their tenders and a snowplow on their fronts, they set to work. They puffed backwards and forwards, patrolling the line. Generally, the snow slipped away easily, but sometimes they found deeper drifts. Presently, they came to a drift which was larger than most. They charged it, and were just backing for another try when... "Lush sakes, Donald! It's Henry! Dinna fess yourself, Henry. Wait a while. We'll have you out. Henry was very grateful. He saw all was not well. The twins were glum. They told him that the Fat Controller was returning soon. He'll send us back for sure. It's a shame, said Percy. A lot of nonsense about a broken signal box, grumbled Gordon. That spiteful Brakevan too, put in James. Good riddance, that's what I say. They were splendid in the snow, added Henry. It isn't fair. They all agreed that something must be done, but none knew what. Percy decided to talk to Edward about it. What you need, said Edward, is a deputation. He explained what that was. Percy ran back quickly. Edward says we need a depostation. Of course, said Gordon. The question is, what is a desperation? Asked Henry. It's when engines tell the Fat Controller something's wrong, said Percy. Did you say tell the Fat Controller? Asked Duck thoughtfully. There was a long silence. I propose, said Gordon, that Percy be our, disputation. Hi, squeaked Percy. I can't. Rubbish, Percy, said Henry. It's easy. That's settled then, said Gordon. Poor Percy wished it wasn't. Hello, Percy. It's nice to be back. Percy jumped. Yes, sir. Please, sir. You look nervous, Percy. What's the matter? Please, sir, they've made me a desperation, sir. To speak to you, sir. I don't like it, sir. The Fat Controller pondered. Do you mean a deputation, Percy? Yes, sir, please, sir. It's Donald and Douglas, sir. They say, sir, that if you send them away, sir, they'll be turned into scrap, sir. That would be dreadful, sir. Please, sir, don't send them away. Thank you, Percy. That will do. Later, the Fat Controller spoke to the engines. I had a deputation. I understand your feelings, but I do not approve of interference. He paused impressively. Donald and Douglas, I hear that your work in the snow was good. You shall have a new coat of paint. The twins were surprised. Thank you, sir. But your names will be painted on you. We'll have no more mistakes. Thank you, sir. Does this mean that the both of us... The Fat Controller smiled. It means... But the rest of his speech was drowned in a delighted chorus of cheers and whistles. The twins were here to stay.